Oh, I hadn't really thought about that. Um, it's rare playing the Hawks down here. I know we played them through the COVID period, but I'm told the time before that was 2006. So it's good having one of the bigger Melbourne clubs down here. But yeah, you put me on the spot. I wouldn't want to be disrespectful to some of the other good teams we've played down here, but clearly with the new stadium, it's a sellout. But be surprised if we don't get a record crowd here down at GMHBA and in a good time slot too. Twilight Saturday afternoon, and I mean our games against the Hawks over a long period of time have been good games irrespective of ladder position, but this one seems to me to be as good as any in recent times because of the way they're playing. They're clearly one of the form teams of the competition.
Do you have a favourite rivalry? And if so, is it the Hawks?
No, I'm not going to give them that credit. No, I'm probably the wrong person to ask on that one. I don't get as caught up in that as others.
Ollie Henry's back in this week. How exciting is that?
Yeah, it's good for Ollie. I think we said last week that he was managed out as much as anything. So we still want to be conscious that that we sort of think through how we use Ollie in the back half of the year. He's just had some little niggles which have led to lack of continuity in training as much as anything, but certainly good to have him back in the team. And it's with every problem that you have, and every club these days at AFL level seems to have some problems. The competition's just so difficult. It's a real marathon. But looking at even the Tom Hawkins sort of situation, we're really optimistic we're going to get him back. But it does open up some opportunities for us to think about our forward half a little differently. And Ollie certainly plays a part there. And getting Shannon Neal sort of into the team consistently, we think is a positive for us. And Gary Rohan playing his 200th as well is exciting for us. So a little bit different, but no less exciting.
Can you run us through Gary Rohan? How special is this milestone for him?
Yeah, I think 200 games is a great achievement for any AFL player. But I really admire the players that have been able to come through adversity. And I mean, every player that gets to 200 games has had to endure some adversity. But I mean, Gary had such a bad injury early in his career that really, in ways, has plagued him throughout his whole career. And that's only sort of one area in which he's had to, overcome some challenges. I've always been an admirer of the way he's gone about it. He's a great guy around the place. He in some ways can be the barometer of the mood of our team. When he's up and about, we tend to be up and about. And he's one of the players that has always been, I think, lauded more internally for the stuff that's difficult for those on the outside to see. And so it's nice that this is one of the rare occasions where he gets to take the spotlight on his own.
How pleased were you when Tyson re-signed?
Yeah, pleased, but not surprised. For me, it sort of seemed logical that it was always going to happen, but I'm a little bit removed from those discussions, so I guess I'll never know how strong a chance he was to leave, but it just never occurred to me that he would. So, not getting too up and about over it because it was something I expected to happen, and when it did, it didn't spark too much emotion.
You mentioned as well before Ollie back in, but also you've got Sean back in as well. Did he almost, force a bit of a hand up 6 goals in the VFL last week, and then after you played those first couple of rounds and go back and again wait to get that chance?
Yeah, Sean's interesting because he hasn't done much wrong since he walked into the club. And was good enough to force his way in early, and then really through circumstance sort of kept him out of the team. And he's had the odd challenge sort of here and there that's led to a little bit of a lack of continuity. Now we're always cautious to say that VFL form, and especially goals in the VFL, is not necessarily what we judge him on. So he probably won't believe us. Is like, well, you don't judge me on goals until I kick 6, and then you bring me in. It's much more than his sort of offensive threat. He complements the way that we think we've had to adjust, our forward half with Tom going out, and it's just he reminds me a little bit of Lawson Humphrey's situation in that we talk about him a lot, but just haven't been able to find a way to get him in. So it's exciting for him and for us that we could do that this week.
So I guess with the Ruck situation as well, and just to be injured at the moment, kind of been going with Sam, Reece playing a couple of games in VFL, how does that kind of just sit with you guys at the moment, and confident with, I guess, what you have going into Sunday?
Yeah, confident. We've for a long time had a unique ruck set up, primarily because of the way Mark Blitzarves plays. And again, I've said a few times that we're unapologetic for prioritising Sam De Koning in the position that we think he's best. Though there might be times where we want to prioritise him as a forward, and he will get priority there. But Toby, it's a little bit disappointing that Toby's unavailable. I think I'll repeat what I've said almost fortnightly in this forum. He's a long-term player, and we've got no interest in trying to fast-track him and take a risk with his longer-term development. So he's got a little bit of a hiccup here, but we're looking for the chances for him to get AFL exposure, but he just won't get to a situation where he plays every single week in the AFL for quite a while yet. So I don't know exactly when that is. Hopefully it's next year, but it certainly won't be this year. And Reece, it's likely that we'll take Reece out of the emergencies today. He does have a little bit of an issue, and again we're like, maybe it's a little bit too conservative, but I think every team coming into this year is as conscious about their ruck setup as any, because they're hard to replace. I don't know there are many teams that can afford to have a couple of injuries there and still get by. So again, it might be a cautious decision with Reece. I'm pretty sure that's what we'll do. So he won't play Sunday, but likely will be available for AFL selection the week after.